Hi guys, today I'm going to show you how to solve this kind of longer derivative of the inverse type question. Alright, let's get started. So for part 1, we need to show that it is 1-to-1, and I'm going to take the derivative of this function, and that'll leave us with 3x squared plus 2 over 1 plus x squared. And if the derivative is positive for all x's, that's how we know it's increasing and it's 1-to-1. And looking at this derivative, it is positive for all x's because this will get you a positive number and this will get you a positive number. So we can say that f prime is greater than 0 for all real numbers. Therefore, f is increasing for all real numbers, which means f is 1-to-1. Alright, and for part 2, we're going to find the g of 7 and g prime of 7, which are technically the inverse. So I'm going to set up this format that I like to follow. So I know that f of x will be y, and then g of y will be x. Then f prime of x will be some number k, and then g prime of y will be 1 over k. So to find g of 7 is that y value, so f of x is equal to 7. So let's set our original equation equal to 7. And what x value would make this true? Just looking at it, I know that the x would have to be 0 because this would turn to 0 and you'd just be left with 7. So I know that f of 0 is equal to 7, g of 7 is equal to 0. Let's go ahead and plug in 0 into the derivative. So f prime of 0 would get us 0 plus 2 over 1, which is 2. So we know that f prime of 0 is equal to 2. And lastly, to get that g prime of 7, we just need to invert this number up here, and it'll be 1/2. So here are 2 answers. And then lastly, this is kind of a trickier part of the question, but we are going to say that h of x is equal to e raised to the negative g of x. So to find h of 7, that won't be too difficult because we already know what g of 7 is. G of 7 written down here is 0, so this will be e to the negative 0. Anything to the 0 is 1. But then to find h prime of 7, we actually have to take the derivative of this entire equation. So we know that the derivative of e to the u is e to the u du. So e to the u times the derivative of u to be this. And let's plug in 7. The negative g7 times g prime of 7. And lastly, we know that that's 0, and that we know that g prime of 7 is 1/2. This is 1 times the negative 1/2, and our final answer is the negative 1/2. Alright, and that's how you solve this type of equation.